Welcome friends to Literature Mantra. I am Harsh Singh. This is practice test 2 and in this video we will continue our discussion on 100 most expected questions for JNU's MA English Entrance Exam. So exam से पहले अगर आप अपने preparation को fine tune करना चाहते हैं then do watch this video. और अगर आपने अभी तक practice test 1 नहीं देखा then do watch that as well. It will help you in your exam and the link is given below in the description. So शुरू करते हैं.
नए अपडेट्स के लिए आप हमें फॉलो कर सकते हैं फेसबुक पर या इंस्टाग्राम पर या यूट्यूब पर और लिटरेचर मंत्रा के साथ जुड़ना ना भूलें। भारत का एकमात्र फ्री ऑनलाइन प्रिपरेशन प्लेटफॉर्म यूजीसी नेट के लिए और इंग्लिश लिटरेचर से जुड़े हुए सभी एग्जाम्स के लिए। Next question is the term egotistical sublime was coined by A. Coleridge, B. John Keats, C. William Wordsworth, D. William Hazlitt. See, जब आपने sublime के बारे में पढ़ा होगा the idea of the sublime, of course Edmund Burke के बारे में आपने पढ़ा होगा, then Longinus उसके बारे में पढ़ा होगा the idea of the sublime. But ये egotistical sublime क्या होता है? See, basically this phrase was coined by John Keats. So here the answer is B. John Keats. The next question is the concept of human mind as tabula rasa or blank tablet was propounded by A. Bishop Berkeley, B. David Hume, C. Francis Bacon and D. John Locke. So basically what tabula rasa means is that at the time of birth the human mind is a blank slate, means it doesn't have any kind of reason or knowledge, and that whatever we gain later on is due to our experiences. But at the time of birth, when we are born, our mind is a complete clean slate. So this is what tabula rasa is. And though this idea was there even in ancient times or in older times, especially in Greek philosophy, later on John Locke in his essay, an essay concerning human understanding, really emphasized this idea of the tabula rasa. So here the correct answer is John Locke. Next question is identify the correct statement below. A. Gorboduc is a comedy while Ralph Roister Doister and Gamma Gurton's Needle are tragedies. B. Gorboduc is a tragedy while Ralph Roister Doister and Gamma Gurton's Needle are comedies. C. All of them are problem plays and D. All of them are farces. Now इसका करेक्ट आंसर है बी. Gorboduc is a tragedy while Ralph Roister Doister and Gamma Gurton's Needle are comedies. Now इस क्वेश्चन को मैंने इसलिए चुना है because this gives some important information. Gorboduc is one of the earliest tragedies written and Ralph Roister Doister and Gamma Gurton's Needle, these are amongst the earliest written comedies. Okay, so remember this. Next question. According to the Italian Marxist theorist Antonio Gramsci, A. Hegemony is synonymous with domination. B. Hegemony involves a degree of consent on the part of subject people. C. Hegemony involves a degree of coercion on the part of a dominant political entity. D. Hegemony is synonymous with subjugation. See, ये तो बहुत ही स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड आइडिया है. इफ़ यू हैव रेड अबाउट एंटोनियो ग्रामशी एंड हिज नोशन ऑफ hegemony, उसमें बहुत क्लियर है दैट इट डज इन्वॉल्व अ डिग्री ऑफ कंसेंट. सो the answer here is B. Hegemony involves a degree of consent on part of the subject people. Next question. Which of the following poets wrote the essay Naipaul's India and Mine? A. Kamla Das, B. R. Partha Sarthi, C. A.K. Ramanujan, D. Nizam Ezekiel. Now पहले तो आपको बता दूं मैं कि ये essay लिखा क्यों गया था. अब I'll discuss who wrote it, but ये लिखा क्यों गया था. If you have read Naipaul's Area of Darkness, an Area of Darkness जो novel है, it is kind of pessimistic. It somehow gives a pessimistic view about India. So in reply to his pessimistic opinion in his as expressed in his novel in An Area of Darkness, this essay was written and the correct answer is Nizam Ezekiel, D. Nizam Ezekiel is the person who wrote this essay Naipaul's India and Mine. Now we have an extract. Read the following passage carefully and select the right answers from the alternatives given below in the question blah blah blah. Okay. So this is basically about discourse and language. So I'll just tell you the answers. So first question है इसका, which of the following is true in light of the passage? Now इसका करेक्ट आंसर है सी, लैंग्वेज कंप्राइजेज डिस्कोर्स। द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है इसका, विच अमंग द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स इज नॉट ट्रू। इसका करेक्ट आंसर है सी, डोमिनेंट डिस्कोर्सेज आर नेचुरल। इसमें क्या रहा है, नॉट ट्रू। ओके, देन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, व्हाट डज दिस पैसेज प्लीड फॉर। इसका करेक्ट आंसर है बी, थियोराइजिंग लैंग्वेज इन टर्म्स ऑफ डिस्कोर्स। दिस इज व्हाट द पैसेज प्लीड्स फॉर। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एवरी मैन इज A medieval play based on an episode from the Bible, B a medieval morality play, C a Tudor interlude, D a miracle play। So ये बहुत ही आसान सा सवाल है, बट इस क्वेश्चन को देने का पॉइंट ये था कि जस्ट टू शो दैट ऑफ कोर्स ऑल द क्वेश्चंस इन JNU वोंट बी डिफिकल्ट, कुछ आसान भी रहेंगे, एंड दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द ईजी क्वेश्चंस व्हिच यू माइट गेट एंड समथिंग व्हिच यू शुड नो। एवरी मैन इज़ अ वेरी फेमस प्ले एंड द आंसर इज़ बी अ medieval morality play। But you should know what is the difference between a morality play and a miracle play. So please find the difference and understand what these two things mean, morality play and miracle play. Next question, David Malouf's An Imaginary Life is a retelling of the story of A. Aristotle, B. Juvenal, C. Ovid, D. Horace. See, David Malouf is a very important Australian writer, and this is one of his most famous works, An Imaginary Life, and the correct answer here is C. Ovid. Okay, basically it is a imaginary or retelling of the story of Ovid. Next question, which American poet wrote, I sound my barbaric whoop over the roofs of the world? A. Robert Lowell, B. Walt Whitman, C. Wallace Stevens, D. Langston Hughes. The correct answer is Walt Whitman. And Whitman is a very important writer in American literature, and of course when we talk about world literature in general, he is a very important writer. So do read about Whitman a little bit at least before you go for the exam. Now next question is, which of the following statement is not true of Areopagitica? Now Areopagitica is a very famous work of John Milton, and I'm sure आपने पढ़ा ही होगा इसको, but let's check the options. It was published in 1644. B. It argues for the liberty of unlicensed printing. C. It pleads for British privileges regarding free trade. D. It is a speech addressed to the Parliament of England. Now Areopagitica का full title जो था, let me tell you that. A speech of Mr. John Milton for the liberty of unlicensed printing to the Parliament of England. So even if you have read the complete title, आपको पहले ही पता होगा कि क्वेश्चन जो ऑप्शन डी है, it is a speech addressed to the Parliament of England, this is totally true. Okay, and then B तो ऐसे भी true ही है because this is what this work is about. It argues for the liberty of unlicensed printing. Yes, this is also true. And yes, the first option, it was published in 1644. This is also true. And the only option which is not true is C. It pleads for British privileges regarding free trade. Because see, this has nothing to do with free trade. So the most wrong answer, which is what the question is asking, that which of the following statements is not true of Areopagitica. So इसका आंसर है C. It pleads for British privileges regarding free trade. Now next question is, and miles to go before I sleep is a line from a poem by A. Emily Dickinson, B. Walt Whitman, C. Ralph Waldo Emerson, D. Robert Frost. See, the correct answer is D. Robert Frost. And ये जो line है, it basically comes from the poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This is a poem by Robert Frost, and इसके last stanza में ये है line, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. It is a very philosophical kind of, or a very inspiring kind of line. Why? Because see, whenever anybody in the world, right, tells you that you have to give up, then you can always say, no, I have miles to go before I sleep, or miles to go before I give up. But of course the context in which the poem was written was not exactly philosophical. What happens in the poem is that the speaker in the poem stops by some woods on a snowy evening, and basically he admires the lovely scene that is in front of him. So in that context he says this. Next question, answer the question based on the following passage. So एक छोटा सा passage दिया हुआ है और कुछ options हैं इसके. The passage is best described as A. An exhortation to avoid contamination by vices such as greed and lust. B. An assertion of the superiority of childlike simplicity over learned sophistication. C. A defense of the minor departures from temperance that are inevitable because of human weaknesses. And D. An explanation of the role of evil in the development of virtue. Now here the correct answer is D. An explanation of the role of evil in the development of virtue. So ये passage भी बहुत straightforward है, so there is no need of extra explanation. So just read it once or twice, you'll understand. It's pretty simple. Now we have a poem and some questions that follow that poem. Okay, so I'll directly tell you the answers. So इसका ये question है, the dead animal was sighted. Now इसका आंसर है number C, on the dunes sloping side. The next question is, the reaction evoked in response to a glimpse of the dead fox is best described as 1. Evasive, 2. Angry, 3. Bizarre, 4. Muted. Now इसका आंसर है 1 and 4, evasive and muted. Now next question is, at the close of the poem, which of the following senses overpowers and renders the visitors speechless? Now इसका आंसर है number 4 या number D, smell. Next question is, which novel of Doris Lessing ends with a projection forward in time after a devastating atomic war? A. The grass is singing. B. The golden notebook. C. The four-gated city. D. A proper marriage. The answer is C, the four-gated city. Now this work, the four-gated city, is a very famous work of Doris Lessing, and I hope you know that Doris Lessing is a Nobel Prize winning author, and this novel is basically set in post Second World War Britain, and this novel ends when the world is on the brink of Third World War. Okay, so it's kind of imaginary, but it ends at that point. So from that perspective, it's interesting as well to read this novel. Next question, indicate which of the following terms correctly completes the statement. Now statement ये दिया हुआ है, and then we have the options. Now option A is phenomenological criticism, then B, deconstruction, C, structuralism, D, reception theory. But let's first read the passage. In dash, there is no objective work of literature lying on the seminar table. Bleak House is simply the assorted accounts of the novel that have been given or will be given. The true writer is the reader. Reading is not a matter of discovering what the text means, but a process of experiencing what it does to you. Now इसका correct answer है D, reception theory. Okay, so this is basically a question from literary theory. So very straightforward. Next question, who among the following developed the term strategic essentialism? A. Edward Said, B. Gayatri Spivak, C. Homi Bhabha, and D. Ijaz Ahmed. See, the correct answer is B. Gayatri Spivak. And strategic essentialism is a very important concept in post-colonial theory. With this, I conclude this video, and don't forget to see the next part. It will help you in your MA entrance exam. और next part का link नीचे दिया हुआ है description में. Okay.